How's it going, ladies and Bruce? Up on Sixkilla. Welcome back to Not For Broadcast. We're in the final chapter here. We did 2 broadcasts over the last couple of episodes, and it looks like there's more broadcasts to go. We did help disrupt. Help is a strong word. We aided them in the way that they wanted us to, but I'm not sure that it helped in the long run. But I guess we'll find out. Let's carry on. Day 913, an important review. You arrive at work a little early, despite a stressful journey in, and you still aren't quite sure of everything that's happened. Though if the swarm of CCOs all over the building is anything to go by, this isn't just a Channel 1 matter. This is confirmed when you're informed you need to speak to Bozeman immediately and are escorted to his office. You sit nervously outside waiting for your boss. A few minutes later, the boss man arrives, disheveled, and with a stern-looking CCO in tow. Ah yes, Winston, good. This is Specialist Ables. She will be observing this interview. Please come inside and take a seat. The ruddy-faced man busts into his office and leaves the door open for you to follow. The few times you've been here before, it was immaculate, with everything in its proper place. Not so today. It must be serious for Bozeman to be this flustered. So Alex, you know why you're here today? Bozeman's eyes are sharp and his gaze is fixed on your face from across the desk. Ables is standing behind you, out of sight, but definitely not out of mind. Not really, no, I wasn't involved with anything that happened yesterday. What happened last night was nothing short of the culmination of a heinous and outrageous campaign of terror that Disrupt had been reaping on this nation and its territories. Bozeman shoots a glance behind you to your left, where your CCO observer is standing, and it is, of course, our duty to root out this rot, wherever we find it, to prevent anything like last night happening ever again. I have been asked by Advance to perform interviews with all staff members involved, and will be submitting a personal review of your performance both during the incident in question and throughout your time here. This can only end well. His expression remains stern. Just tell the truth, Winston, this will be over soon. Arranging some papers, Bozeman clears his throat and begins. Obviously a lot happened last night, and I have a number of interviews to conduct today, so I'd rather not waste any time. Be brief, concise, and clear in your answers. You nod. So let's start at the beginning of the broadcast and work our way through. After the attack at the memorial, you seem to have portrayed the terrorists in quite a sympathetic light. Why? It showed what was happening. The news, that's our job, right? I see, so you're saying it couldn't be helped, and you had to show the aftermath as you did. I'll be sure to make note of that. Funny how unauthorized footage always seems to find its way into your broadcasts. Bozeman scribbles some notes down, the noise of his pen scratching into the notebook punctuated only by the constant tick-tock of his ornate clock. Hopefully this will all be over soon. Reviewing the broadcast, we noticed something a little odd about a particular camera choice. It was while everyone else was talking. Where did I put it? Ah, yes, here. Do you recognise this? With a flourish, Bozeman produces the leaflet from the noseboard and places it on the desk in front of you. I honestly didn't even notice it was there. So you're saying the blame lies entirely with the crew on set? There's no way you could possibly use your own judgment to have determined it was unsuitable. You hear a disapproving grunt from the CCO behind you. Typical Winston, we shall see. Not exactly subtle there. Toward the end of the show, there appear to be some issues with the censor equipment. At this point, Bozeman pauses for a moment, putting a lid on his pen and placing it carefully on the desk, perpendicular to his notebook. How do you explain the fact that you censored perfectly acceptable language during the final segment? I just do what the display tells me. I don't decide what's supposed to be censored. It would be a very strange coincidence that one of our key pieces of equipment were to develop a malfunction at the exact time Disrupt chose to attack. A disappointing but not unsurprising lapse by an incompetent employee seems much more likely, but I suppose we won't know until maintenance have had a chance to check it out properly. Silence takes over as Bozeman writes some notes. How many questions will he have to answer? At this point, Bozeman took out a pair of glasses and placed them somewhat delicately on the end of his nose. Then the portly man leaned forward to examine his notes in detail. Now obviously, we expect the odd bit of interference here and there, unavoidable. However, he paused, turning the page in an agonizing pace. Interference is not the same as terrorist propaganda. Would you care to explain how quite so much of their messaging found its way into our airwaves? The machine's been out of date for years, even the last update didn't make life any easier. Out of the corner of the eye, you notice Specialist Ables is visibly more attentive, awaiting your boss's response. Well, it's certainly true that accidents do happen, but it's an amazing coincidence how often they seem to happen when you're around, Winston. Bozeman's smile is anything but warm, and Abel's glance towards you with a stare that can only be described as glacial. You offer a strained smile back. A loud creak breaks the growing silence as Bozeman leans back in his chair. The tape of that poor Miss Brightman. Why did you play it? Help me understand, why play that tape? As you meet his gaze, you're almost surprised to see an earnest concern in the old man's eye. What tape was that? Mrs. Brightman, which one was that? I was worried what Disrupt might do if I didn't play it. You watch as Bozeman slowly cleans his glasses before answering. Well, at the end of the day, you chose to do it, Alex. I know what I'd have done in your shoes. After all, you have a habit of playing tapes you shouldn't, don't you? He clears his throat and leans forward again, staring at you for a moment before continuing. That is, however, all I had for you. Thank God it's over. I think that's all the information we need for now, Winston. Bozeman looks questioningly at the CCO, but by the time you've turned around, the moment has passed. Best you go home for now. There's no work for you until we get a new satellite tower up. But of course, don't leave town. I may have more questions for you following the other interviews. As you leave, you see open hostility in Specialist Abel's eyes. Well, you knew there'd be consequences. I'm surprised I'm still alive, to be fair. But I'll take it. I'll take it as a win until next time we broadcast, and then we die. As long as we can make the world a better place before we do. Day 989, a message delivered. The newspaper falls to the floor, slipping through your numb hands. The headline whirling round and round in your head. This can't be true. How could this be true? Has it really been 2 months since that day? You find yourself back there, rushing back home after a particularly long and stressful day at work. You're already late, but if you keep to the speed limit, there's no way you're going to hear the end of it. You could probably shave 10 minutes or so off the journey if you wanted. You're going to be mad either way, no point speeding. It seems everything's against you this evening. You have to stop at every traffic light, every stop sign, every junction between you and your destination. You're well over 45 minutes late by the time you finally pull up at the house, only to see a betterment vehicle parked outside, lights still flashing. What's this about? The CCOs are leading someone from your house to the van, your son's voice calling for you. Then the door's shut and it's driving away, the spinning lights blinding you as your vision starts to swim. Charlie? And now you're in a break room. People at work have started avoiding you. Some of the show's crews start giving you funny looks. Bozeman even begins micromanaging you less than usual. It's just a misunderstanding. It'll all be over soon. Charlie had loved Advance. From the go-getters to the Cohesion Cadets to the Cohesion Community Manager, he was on track to become. You and Sam had both gone to see him at the Betterment Centre last week, as soon as you'd been able. Even then, he'd been positive, making friends, explaining that the system was there to help people, and he was actually able to do that while staying there too. It just couldn't have helped. It couldn't have happened. That headline, 5 simple words in bold black type. Disrupt terrorist dies in Betterment. Winston was particularly violent, attacking a Betterment mentor, dying in the infirmary after failed attempts at resuscitation, and the eternal question left unanswered. Was it his fault or yours? What, our son killed someone? And then... What? It seems very uncharacteristic. Sounds like he was set up because they're trying to deal to us. Day 1217, a banquet for some. It's your anniversary, and this year you've got a plan. A week away would just be what the doctor ordered for you and Sam, but it won't be cheap. Oh man. I mean, Sam's worth every penny, sure, but this doesn't seem like the time to be going on holiday, you know? It's not that I don't think Sam's worth it, I just think going on holiday while the apocalypse happens around you is probably not a good fucking look. I'm gonna go with that. I'm sorry. Still, just because you can't have a holiday doesn't mean you can't make tonight special. You have the day off today, so you can try and make a nice romantic meal for them this evening. Though they did expressly to tell you not to bother this morning. You think a cheap last-minute gesture won't change anything, were their exact words. It'd be nice to have a lovely evening together. You get to work, turning the house into the perfect romantic setting for tonight. Everything's going according to plan. Sam's gonna love it. Impatiently, you wait for them to arrive. Even you and Chris seem to be on the same page for the first time in years. Maybe it's been long enough for them to forgive you, or perhaps they've decided they were unfair to ask you, but either way, you're grateful for the newfound peace. They even helped you clean up the house today, so when Sam gets back from work, it'll be pristine. You hear keys in the lock and put the final touches in place. As Sam steps into the hallway, you're waiting in the doorway to the kitchen, dressed to the nines and acting as nonchalant as possible. Alex, what's all this? Oh my god, did you clean? And what's that smell? They give you a quick kiss as they step past you into the kitchen, where the banquet is laid out, candles lit with Chris standing quietly grinning. Oh my god, Alex. Happy anniversary, Sam. Happy anniversary, Chris echoes, as Sam turns to you, smiling and with tears in their eyes. Alex, it's perfect. Sam rushes over and kisses you softly, only breaking off when you get a less than subtle cough from Chris. Just before I leave you to it, I took the liberty of leaving another couple of bottles of champagne in the fridge. Have fun, you two. Chris, thank you sincerely. They smile at you for the first time in a long time, with nothing but warmth in their eyes. My pleasure. I'll see you both around. Have a great evening. And with that they leave, shutting the front door behind them. The slamming door reminds you of the kids, and for a moment, their absence is a physical pain. Sam brings you back to reality as they take their seat. You really didn't have to do this, Chris. Alex. I know, I wanted to. I love you, Sam. I love you too, they breathe, admiring the panoply of food you've prepared for them. Now, where on earth do I begin? They laugh as you pour the first glass of champagne for the evening. It's not the last. At least you still got each other. Well, that was a nice break, wasn't it? Day 1764, a job down. Everything's ready. You and Sam have been trying to watch Bullet Man for years, but you missed it in the cinemas, and it never seemed to be in stock when one of you went to pick up the VHS. Now you're just waiting for them to get home so you can start. You hear the front door open as you put a bowl of popcorn on the coffee table. We're all ready to go, get your butt in here. Sam comes in with a vacant stare, ignoring both film and snacks as they sit down next to you. You have to actually nudge them to break their stupor. Sam, what is it? I've just been let go. From work. Sam is just staring into space. Apparently there isn't a need for 2 nursery teachers anymore. Not enough children. So they can't justify the expense. Honey, I'm so sorry. It'll be okay. You'll find another place. No, you don't get it. There just isn't any demand for younger years teachers anymore. Not just here. Anywhere. I don't know what I'm gonna do. What we're gonna do. You pull Sam into a hug. It's alright. With what we've saved, we should be okay for a little while. Broke ass poor. I guess you're right. I just hate putting this burden on you. Sam pulls back and looks at you. But I'll find something, I promise. We're a team. They laugh. God, I can't believe I just said that. I sound like a bloody advance advert. You chuckle. We are though. And we'll get through this together. You flick Bullet Man on, finally finishing the film after years of build-up. It's a typical Hollywood blockbuster. Not best sold on its writing, but enjoyable nonetheless. Later that night, long after Sam's fallen asleep while cocooned in the duvet, you find yourself wide awake thinking about money. How long will your savings actually last? Not any longer, we are poor now. It just ran out instantly. And I didn't have much because I've not made any friends at my place of work. They don't like me there. Day 1975. The Sterility. 3 years since the uprising.
Hello, Winston. I've checked the schedule for tonight. Nothing particularly important to report, but I'm sure you'll manage to find some new way to disappoint me.
Oh shit.
Still, at least my daughter's in for Advance's new initiative. That should liven things up a bit here on the 15th floor. Try not to cause me any more headaches. Bozeman out.
Shut up, Bozeman, you piece of shit. Alright. Wow, they updated everything. That's pretty cool. Look how fancy this machine is.
10 p.m. it's time for Julia's diary, where the ever popular Prime Minister reads
Looks real good.
from her diary.
They ripped this off the wall. I don't know what it does, but well, it doesn't do anything anymore. I guess they ripped it off the wall. Beep.
Which tells the inspirational
I don't know what that does either.
And the brave doctors and technicians struggle.
And this is Jenny. She's the floor manager.
Hi, Stacey.
That's Colin.
Let's see what's happening over here behind the scenes.
Do you know what? Just don't talk to Colin.
Not getting involved and bring your daughter to work, eh, Colin?
Nah, we don't believe in it.
All right, come and sit next to Mum.
Believe in what?
Just days.
Don't believe in days?
That's followed by
These definitely exist.
Girl.
advanced briefing.
10 seconds, everybody.
Alright, here we go.
16 simultaneous
That
colours.
explains so
More
much.
time to be
Okay, we are
alive.
going
That
in
explains so
5,
much.
4,
Monday's a myth.
Your thinking
3.
glasses as we go over to Megan and the team.
Here we go.
Good evening and welcome to the NNN. I'm Megan Wolf. And who's this, you might be wondering? Well,
That
it's
person
Bring
does
Your
not look
Daughter
happy.
to Work Day here at Channel 1. So I'm joined tonight by my foster daughter, Stacey. Say hello, Stacey.
Go fuck yourself.
Hello, Stacey. All right then. Here are the stories that matter to you. First up, with advance confirming that the nuclear fallout from the 20-week war is to blame for the drop in birth rates across the territories, we asked you what keeps you going. I know that I, for one, was quite deflated when I heard about this, but reading all your submissions has really put the smile back on my face. This is from Sonia in Larkfordshire. I've had plenty of time to fill, so I've started a new hobby. Since I started knitting, I barely remember that
There's a long
85% of
scarf.
the country is sterile. My record is this scarf. It's 124 metres long.
Wow.
Thank you for that. And if you've started a new hobby, do write in and tell us about it. Next up, you know how we love your uncanny comestible coincidences, and I don't know about you, but I think this one really takes the biscuit. I'm not sure what I'm more impressed by, Stacey. The things our viewers spot are the unbelievable way our menu centres are now able to feed every team member every single day. Greg from Proddington has sent us this lovely photo of their breakfast, saying, I couldn't bring myself to eat my toast this morning because I could swear it bore the spitting image of the great Julia Salisbury's relatable face.
God almighty.
So I had to make do with a plate of butter and 2 spoonfuls of jam. Do keep those
I'm
coming
sure that's
in.
really good for you.
Come on, have a go. We've just got time for one more of your stories, and this one is an inspiring story of rehabilitation. That's it, just tell us who it's from, yeah, and then read it out. Okay.
Apparently, this is from Sherry in Tendon. Here I am, just 6 months out of betterment. I'm healthy, sober and working thanks to the facilities I had access to on the inside. I'll never have to go back to my old life of stealing cars and burning
I can't
them
change the
terribly.
message at all anymore. They're censoring, they're making sure that I don't have any way to fuck with their
We absolutely
plans.
love hearing the way our neighbours and team members have been able to
It's really annoying.
become better people. So do let us know your stories here. You can do this bit, Stacey.
No, you're all right, thanks.
Come on, give it a try.
Let us know your stories here at the NNN. Happy now? Yeah.
Right,
Cool,
bit of a
cool.
change of pace coming up here.
Sorry, I don't know what happened
Use
there.
the S effect buttons for the next segment, but advance have already selected when and what to use. Simple stuff. Just follow your government orders.
Shut up, Bozeman, you piece of shit. I'm the editor, I get to make the message, asshole. Alright. Why does this just say N?
First up tonight on the NNN, it's time to celebrate this week's team lottery winners live from the Shakespeare Theatre right here in the capital. We're going to hand over to Julia Salisbury. I suppose you don't think much of her either, eh, Stacey?
She's got a lot more going for her than you wankers.
Okay. Surprisingly,
Oh,
approval
fuck.
there from
My bad.
Stacey. Let's go live to that right now.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's Team Awards.
I can't pick anything.
Of all the many duties I have as team leader, this is by far the most pleasant. As I so often say to you, the uneven past is now, following the demise of Disrupt, firmly behind.
I can't pick anything except for what they want me to pick.
This is your future. And I say to you, it's better now.
This is not going well already.
I am delighted to be joined here tonight by one of the oldest people in Territory 1. He was born over 107 years ago. Please give a warm team welcome to Alfie Tadgebadger.
Alfie Tadge Badger.
So, Alfie, you must have seen so much in your lifetime. What have been some of the highlights?
Let's try and get our ratings back up. I kind of ruined it.
Is he all right?
No, he's dead. He's just standing dead.
His hearing aid isn't turned on.
Oh, could you turn it on?
He says it drains the battery.
Well, will you tell him that we'll buy him a brand new battery after the presentation?
Ooh, nice. I like that.
Yeah, he says that's fine then. And I will help him with that, yeah.
If you would. Sorry, can't get the staff.
We got it.
Alright. Slowly getting our ratings back.
Alfie. What? You're 107 years old.
Oh, don't bloody remind me.
Would you like to tell the audience what that's like?
Oh, where is everybody?
Out there, in the dark. Oh, bless him, it's not just the ears.
That's a bit mean.
Who are you? 2 sugars, please.
I'm Julia Salisbury, the Prime Minister.
I like this story. Who are you really?
No, I really am the Prime Minister.
Oh, so you're a
woman?
Yeah, a woman. One of
Women
them.
can do anything men can do these days, Alfie.
Oh, can you fist standing up?
I can't say I've ever tried.
Should give it a go.
2 sugars, please, and not too much milk.
Shall we get to the awards, Alfie?
Are you going to ask me about my life?
Well, I'm not sure we have enough time left now for that, so...
When I was 9, I wanted a pet, so I asked me mum and pap. There was no television then, back then, you know. We made our own entertainment out of coal and roadkill.
That was fascinating.
So they got me a pet, see? But it weren't a dog. They told me it were a dog, but it were a stone. A stone? Yeah. So I called it Patch, which were a popular name for a dog back then on account of the king having a patchy face. And I decided to introduce him to pretty little Gertie Thimble, who lived up the road.
Oh, how romantic.
She threw my dog in the river. That was the day I decided I'd never marry.
And that's the secret to your long life?
Oh no, I've been married 7 times, divorced 8. There was a mix-up with number 3, see? Yes, I'm just lucky. Are we going back to the home soon?
Soon, Alfie. First, let's turn to the reason we're all here. The weekly Territory 1 Team Award.
He's very funny. I like him.
First up tonight is a lady who really knows how to put in the extra hours. She works at a transition centre in Hamble-Bamblebury, and she has single-handedly allowed more families to unburden each other than any other nurse in Territory 1. In the uneven path, she'd have been locked up. Tonight, she is being honoured as a team player. Please welcome Daphne Snister.
Are you here to change me?
Just give her a medal, Alfie. There's a good boy.
Doctor, I mean, 2 sugars, please. And don't let it steep too long.
I think you're supposed to give me one of those.
Oh. Well, I
There he goes. Look.
Prime Minister thinks she's hilarious.
Any higher than that. You'll have to go down.
Thank God those fractious times are behind us, and now the territories are thriving.
Are we in? As the actor said to the bishop.
Yes, thank you. I've got it from here.
She looks scary, man.
Well done. Daphne Snister, everybody. Now, open your envelope and find out what you've won. Crikey, don't hold back there. She's tougher than one of Peter's homemade Eccles cakes.
Got it. I've won a holiday for 2 in Territory 15. used to be called San Palmerino, didn't it?
I believe it did, yes.
Why couldn't we have stuck with that then? It's easier to remember.
Agreed.
We're all one nation now.
Hang on a minute. Isn't it still on fire?
Daphne Snister, everyone.
It's still on fire? What?
I've been in these white pants for 3 days now.
We'll get to that, Alfie.
Oh, right, you are. Love.
Next up
I'm gonna get in trouble for
tonight
not
is
censoring
a
that.
couple from Farnley who, after a rocky start losing their family's ill-gotten gains to the Assets and Wealth Act, have really embraced the new future, setting up a community farm and petting zoo in their local area for all the
I guess they're
local
gonna be
children
watching
to
us pretty
play.
strictly now.
Please welcome Otho and Lobelia, Jackson Randy-Gannett. Medals, Alfie.
You know, when I was in the trenches, I had a pal called Scotty Wilson.
Right.
He was from way up north, so I didn't understand a bloody word he said. But he were my best mate.
Should we just grab them for ourselves?
Probably for the best.
And his best mate was Smudger Ace. There was them two. Fiddly Eric, Unstable Terry, and of course, Leggy Sydney. She were a girl. But she had a boy's name, so they shipped her to the front anyway.
Ruthless.
First girl any of us has ever seen close up. She's dead now. They all are. Smudger and Scotty never made it home. Fiddly got shanked in Frankfurt prison in an argument over an olive. And Terry, he exploded quietly at home. Sydney got
At the farm, or how did he explode exactly?
Scratched herself to death. It makes you think.
Thanks, Alfie. Great contribution. So, Otho and Lobelia, a petting zoo.
After we lost all our wealth, we discovered there were actually people who had never even owned a pony.
I used to have 3.
So we decided to do something about it. That's the type of people we are, you see. Advantage of a private education, probably.
Well, I'm sure we could debate that all night, but there's no time. So, let's see what you've won.
Yes, before we do, there's something I wanted to say to you.
Oh, absolutely. Every citizen of the new future has my ear.
When Advance came to power, you took all of our wealth. You took the shirts off of our backs.
Quite literally, in my case, I used to collect shirts.
You might as well have the rest of it, too.
Oh, security!
Oh God, not again. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Pennies and the news are not good bedfellows.
Pennies in the news.
Those flappy bits off my channel, Alex.
Tadge better. And you are? Oh, no.
Got to go.
Oh.
It isn't right and it isn't fair.
You tell him, girl. That's my wife, you know. Only you don't.
You can't mix pearls with swine. It isn't right. We used to have 3 horses, fed and defessel and hung well. And now what have we got? 2 mangy goats, 1 mongrel dog called Kenneth, and a rooster that won't bloody shut up!
Can we get this over quickly with, please?
As the actress said to the bishop. Oh, here we go.
Well, this is going just as well as most of our broadcasts, to be fair.
Pleased to meet you.
Stop them!
Oh, don't worry, love. I'll protect you. Oh, 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 oh.
You better break what he knows.
You know, this reminds me of when I was in my 20s. We go to the promenade at Shining on Sea and watch all the pretty girls on the beach. Everything was black and white then, of course.
Well, in real life, yeah, real life was black and white back
the
then.
Penny Arcade and tried to win a block of lard to take home for the family. You couldn't buy lard in those days. You had to win it. Oh, it was so much simpler back
Police
then.
brutality.
Boys were boys, girls were girls. Everyone else was recruited by the circuses. There were loads of them, you see, circuses.
Police brutality.
There'd be tents and their candy floss. You'd hear the music, the pipe organ, drifting over the nearby fields. My mum used to call it the most magical sound in the world. This was before she lost her hearing after giving a particularly loud round of applause. Did you ever go to the circus?
What's that, Alfie?
The circus. Oh, never mind. Yeah, just the tea, Pet.
Well, that was an unexpected dose of naked nostalgia.
Very nice.
Some people simply can't let go of the past. That's why I look in joy and fervent admiration at the younger generation. So cohesive, such a team.
What did I do?
And with fertility falling throughout the territories, we should value our fabulous new generation now.
Man, we are in so much trouble.
Our final winner tonight is a go-getter
Another one?
who really went and got him, helping to root out more than 170 disrupt collaborators in his own neighbourhood.
Jesus.
Since
Snitch.
then, he's gone on
What a
to
terrible
be a
snitch.
senior cohesion cadet leader and organised all of the entertainment at last year's camp cooperation. Our final winner tonight, Edwin Neverley.
Oh, I'll be congratulated.
You should be in a transition centre, you old Prime Minister. It's an absolute pleasure to finally meet you. We're very similar, in my opinion.
Well, I've never been much of a role
A bit of a
model.
snitch, eh?
Nonsense. Prime Minister, you have saved this country. You have fought enemies, foreign and domestic, with an iron fist. As with my own tiny fists have I.
Well, let's open the envelope and find out what you've won. Maybe it'll be a fist enlargement.
He's actually holding out for that fist enlargement, isn't he?
A year's internship as a behaviour coach at Betterment. Let's show the fools where they went wrong, eh?
Well, actually, Betterment is about rehabilitation, Edwin.
Absolutely. And if they don't reintegrate, we retaliate. Just like you did on Liberation Night. Thank you for this award. And stay vigilant. Report the non-cohesives. Be a team player.
That concludes tonight's awards. Join me next week when hopefully
Dude, that was so
things
cringe.
will be a lot more normal. Back to you, Megan.
Prime Minister Salisbury there at a highly eventful team awards ceremony. Any thoughts?
Rather eventful, yeah.
Stacey?
The nurse was fucking scary, the pretties were saggy, and that little prick will never lose his virginity.
Okay, well, succinctly put there. Fine. After the break, we'll be going live to a star-studded premiere. You won't believe who's on the red carpet tonight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. And we're out.
Oh, Alex, one other...
You know, somewhere
What's
else
that?
in this building,
You're off already?
What?
I know you had to take the day off work for Junior, but... Oh, I see. No luck still with Theodore. I'm so sorry, darling.
Of course.
I'll speak to you later. Oh, Alex. Completely forgot what I was going to say. Blast it all. Still, I'm lucky to have her.
What are you talking about?
Tragic comic disaster.
Yeah, that. It's just like having him back in the chair.
Do you reckon he's watching us somewhere? Laughing. I think he
Look at this terrible ad.
Jeremy,
Where's something more hilarious? Where's Crazy Neil, huh?
are you fucking with us?
Oh, right. So she can swear.
Radiates from every
Segment grade E.
We are
Dude,
producing
I think that's the
more
worst one I've
and
ever had.
faster than ever
Shocking.
before.
This ad is sucky. Alright, we're going to wrap this one up here. Because we're out of time for today, but we'll continue this broadcast in the next episode. Hopefully we can pull it back up.
So,
Although,
Patrick and Robin are just going to grab
I
you
kind of wanted to
generic
just
links on your
expose
sheet,
some
glue
stuff
it all
to
together.
try and...
They do know I have a
Because there's not a lot of
Queen's
ways we can
degree
push a
in
message here
journalism.
Bet you wish you
without
studied something else, wouldn't
All this bring your
bringing
daughter
up
to
stuff
work,
that
eh?
is going to bring my ratings down.
Is
So
our honoured guest.
felt like the only way to really
Sniffing around
change
that
what was
boy
happening.
band. Hot
I don't know if that's a good
Heat
move
rash.
or a terrible move.
Hotspot won it last year.
Heat rash. Oh God, they're running out. of
That's why we got an
names,
E
aren't
rank.
I hear the computer comes up with them, the songs too. Ah, there
It might be
she
a case of
is,
you have
and
to
just
sacrifice
in
your rank.
time too. That's 10
Your,
seconds, everybody.
they? What have you been up to?
How good your rank is to
And we
spread
are
a specific
going in
message.
5,
I don't know.
4,
I don't know whether I got the right end of the
3.
stick there, but we will find out how it's going to end in the next one. Well, at least this broadcast. I mean, I'm not only going to last so long before they, like, have me arrested or whatever and rehabilitated. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for getting out for me, and I'll see you in the next one.